your scents are like captivating. No. No. You can't get the mic. Oh my god. Hey, hello, how are you? Welcome to Wham! This is Wine and Mortgage, where we talk everything mortgage or anything in the realty industry altogether. The wine can be whiskey, can be water, can be your wake-up drink. Whatever your W is, hopefully you'll sit and join us for the next, I don't know, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
So today we've got Benny. This is Benny.
Yeah, he's the star of the show.
Unfortunately, he wasn't liking his cage. He is with us today. And I'm going to go over here first, and then we'll go over here. So go ahead, Lisa. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Hi, I'm Lisa Coleman with Prime Lending, and I am a mortgage lender. That's what I do.
Look at that.
It's what I do. It's what I do. It's what I live for.
She's so humble. She's so humble. She's a great lender. Go ahead,
Awesome.
John.
I'm John Duncan, Tejas Imagery and Media Services. We fit the real estate game with high quality imagery and videography, 360 tours, rendering, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Dude, he's so good at it.
He's great at it.
You're awesome.
And obviously, you guys know who I am.
Who are you?
Long enough.
Who are you?
I'm Jen Ray, and I'm a lender as well. But I'm also the host of this, and I get to hang out with my friends all the time.
That's right.
I love it.
And what was that phrase that you said earlier?
When I say, oh, I want to make a little bit of money and a whole bunch of buddies.
I like that. And Jen and I have known each other for, I want to say, 4 years.
Well, 4 years.
4 years.
I was a transplant down to Texas about 4 years ago.
Facts.
It seems like a
From
lifetime.
where?
We've known each other for.
Where are you?
Sure.
Where are you a transplant from?
Did you not know I moved here?
I did not.
See,
I
John's
thought
like,
you were like
John was
native.
probably like, how in the hell do I not know this girl?
Right?
Because I knew.
Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Georgia,
Oh, gee.
South Dakota,
So you're a Bulldog.
California, back to Georgia, then back to South Dakota, and then transplanted it.
So you're a Bulldogs fan.
I am a Dogs fan, but my entire family is Georgia Tech.
All right.
But me, I'm a dog fan.
Well, welcome to Texas.
Yeah, thanks.
A little late, but
You know, I consider myself.
By golly, you got here as soon as you could, right?
I did. I got here. I got here. I'm not going anywhere. Texas has been good to us. Think
But-
of all the places I've lived.
But to be specific, though, you have been in lending for longer than 4 years, correct?
Well, since 2016.
Yeah. So
Oh.
the experience is still there.
But Lisa been doing it for a long time.
I'm old.
Lisa started when she was in high school
Oh,
in lending.
I was like 3.
3.
So, but that takes me to the point. That's why lenders are friends. They're not
Yes.
competition because seriously, there are times where I will struggle and I'm like, I know I can get this approval. I
Mhm.
know I can. And then I'll call Lisa, or maybe I'll call my buddy Chase Kelly, or maybe I'll call my buddy Steve Baker, or maybe I'll call
Stephen Curtis.
Stephen Curtis.
We rely on
Maybe-
him.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I will call somebody and be like, listen, why am I getting ineligible? What am I missing? And we will talk each other through it. And seriously, it keeps us from drinking.
Oh,
Except for on wine and mortgage
Right.
days. So Lisa really wanted to talk about some reverse mortgages today. So reverse mortgages, not a lot of people think about them. Not a lot of people look into it. Reverse mortgage is looked at just like renovation loans. People stand clear because they don't know much about it.
right. They
But
don't
both of
understand
them are good options, and we will talk about renovation on another day. But reverse mortgage is something that needs to be talked about.
Well, especially with the
So-
economy. So
Yeah.
the reason we want to talk briefly about it is because, and I'm in the upper age group. I cannot do. By the way, I cannot do a reverse mortgage yet on myself. You have to be 62 or older.
So
I'm
she's
just
telling you
saying.
she's old, but she's not.
I'm
that
not.
You ain't even close.
She's not that old.
I run it
No,
over.
don't buy a word of it.
With it.
Come on. I mean, you got what pink hair?
Yeah, that is so.
That is not
I'm
old.
just disguising my age. That's what I'm
No,
doing. That's what
you're not old. You're not.
Okay, so yes, so the age is you got to be 62
62.
to
Yeah,
do a
you
reverse
have to be
mortgage.
62.
Both of you have to be 62.
Well, so it depends.
Whoever's on
Yeah.
the deed.
Yes. I
If,
was
so
just
both,
gonna
if
say.
both of you are on the deed and you're
Yes.
married, both of you have to
Yes.
be 62.
You can't have right exactly
Correct. So-
because
But think of this. This is not, if you're not 62 and you're in the chat watching, or
Yes.
if you're not 62 and you're watching this, I know you've got a parent who might be 62,
Absolutely.
or an aunt or uncle who might be 62, or a really good friend who's taught you everything you know who might be 62. And there's good options for them. So it's
Absolutely.
always good to give them those options.
and
So,
and something to know about a reverse mortgage. The reason we decided to discuss it was
Mhm.
because we're with the economy the way it is today,
Yep.
with the cost of living, there's a lot of fear right now surrounding how
Payments,
how are
money.
people going to make their day-to-day,
Yep.
So I've had a lot of questions. I've had a lot of people ask me about it. And usually they come to me and say, okay, I am such and such an age, and
Right.
home equity loan. That's the first thing they think of is home equity loan.
Home equity
And then
line
we
of
got
credit.
into talking about, HELOC, a home equity line of credit. And then we got into talking about some options, because there's always options. And I tell everybody, just like we were talking about earlier, there is a loan out there for every situation. Whether I have that product or not, that's where our friends come in. I pick up the phone and say, I don't have this product, but what about
But
you?
you have this product.
Right, a double wide,
So if-
no slab.
So say for instance, so basically, if you had somebody who came to you and said, "Hey, I want to pay off some debt,
Yes.
because I am just drowning in payments. I'm barely making it. We're retired, we're on a set income, and we're just not making it the same way we have been."
Yeah.
And then we try and get them. First of all, maybe we try home equity, maybe we try a refi cash out, maybe we do anything we can with mortgage, but there's a payment involved, and they can't afford the payment with their ratios. That's how hard it has become.
Yes.
So the good thing about reverse mortgage is
You don't have a monthly payment.
there's no payment. You get money,
Exactly.
and there's no payment.
Correct.
Until the person who owns the home
Leaves the home.
exits the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
So, question.
Yes.
From someone who is very unlearned in the ways of,
Learned.
well,
I like it.
of course,
Tell me more.
in the ways of reverse mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that I always thought, okay, or so reverse mortgage is you are selling your house to the
To the bank?
bank.
Actually, you don't
And-
sell your house. You own it still.
Okay.
You'll still own.
So it's just like, so think of a traditional mortgage. You own the property. This is just a type of mortgage that's put on it so that they can foreclose on it if you default.
Okay.
And let's talk about default. So defaulting on a reverse mortgage would mean that you don't pay your taxes and insurance like you're supposed to.
Correct. So you're still responsible for your taxes and insurance.
So there's yes, key
Gotcha.
things. You're still responsible for your taxes and insurance. You also have to live in the property for a minimum of 6 months, because sometimes, when you're a little bit older, you're traveling, you're doing your thing, has to be your primary residence.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right? But you have to, you can't go renting it out or anything like that. Even though you say it's yours, you still have to.
Right. You can't use a reverse mortgage because you're on hard times and then rent it out.
Right.
So,
exactly.
next question.
Oh, can I just finish
Yeah,
one more thing?
go ahead. Go ahead.
And with that thought, you also have to maintain the property.
Oh,
Yes.
So here's something that we run into that is really important when you discuss it with a client. If they're financially in a bind, how is the maintenance on it? It's got to have an appraisal
That's a
done
good
on it.
point.
So the maintenance has to still be there. So there may be some repairs and stuff that are rolled in to the reverse mortgage that would put them to a minimum property requirements, standards, and actually be very beneficial for that buyer.
It may be something where on the reverse mortgage, say you get the reverse mortgage and you are allowed $120,000. Maybe they will allot $25,000 of that to maintenance and upgrades on your home, because what happens is the payment for the home, again, is due at time of leaving the home.
Correct.
So basically, when you sell it, right? And if you can't sell it for the amount that's owed because you have not been maintaining it, that is an issue that can be harmful to your children or people that
They're
are there carrying on after you've left.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's the thing that I wanted. That's a really good point. So yes, maintenance is a big thing on it. And there's a certain loan to value that they'll let you go up to.
Correct.
So
And it's so there's state specifics as well.
all state specific, yeah.
Right. So we do, the nice thing about this particular product, and the reason we wanted to talk about it was I have a national team that does all of the reverse mortgages.
All
So
over
this
the
is
United
what they do every single day. So they're going to know the product guidelines in and out, and every single file is going to be different. So we're going to talk in generalities today about what may be a good, the benefits, and there's some cons to it as well.
Right. But there's benefits and cons to everything that you do.
Exactly.
So we want you to know all the facts so that you can make the decision that's best for you.
Exactly. It's an option. We want you to know that there's an
But-
option out there.
The optional benefit is huge. You do not make a payment on cash that you receive.
Correct.
So it can help Because if you can alleviate debt that you don't have those payments and you're not replacing those payments with a new payment, it's just an easier way to live out after 62.
Well, so I'll give you an example. I had a client come to me, and a grandmother, and she was taking on the grandchildren.
Right.
So she was going to be responsible for the grandchildren and taking care of them, and she was on only Social Security. That's all she has.
Yep. Set income, yeah.
A set income.
Sure.
And really she's struggling as to how she was going to be able to take care of the 3 grandchildren and do what she needed to do and make the payments, which were very, very small, but she had a very small balance, maybe $20,000 left on the property, which can be rolled in, by the way.
Yeah.
But she had a lot of equity in the home.
That helped.
So, yeah, so when we talked about it, the first thing she came to me was for a HELOC, or a home equity line of credit. And so as we discussed everything, we determined that this may be a better fit for her
option.
because it's manageable. She's already on a very fixed budget. And then you add just a little bit more income.
Sure.
And
More sense
it was such a relief
for
her to be able to know that she can take care of her grandchildren, that she gets to stay in her property forever until she leaves the property. Because
and so what Lisa's saying, if I can wrap it into those of you who might be watching or listening in, when you're in your 20s, when you think I want to buy my first home, like all of us here, when you think you want to buy your first home, that's what we mean by the power of home ownership.
yes,
Because you do have your 401ks that we know sometimes can seem like they're shrinking, okay? Your home, when you pay your payment, there is a portion of it that goes into equity. So as you trade up over the years and you get in that house, and then you do what this lady did, where she's like, she has so much equity in her home. That is retirement.
yeah, she's
So
tapping into it. She's utilizing it.
Not only do you want a 401k and a good retirement, but you want home ownership for your future, because there is money in it that can give you some sort of relief once you're on set income. So that's why either HELOCs or the reverse mortgages, those are options for you. And what other better time to talk about it than right now? People are like, what is happening? What's going on in the world? Are things shrinking? Why is my 401, what is going on? I had this much and now I have this much.
Right.
So that always goes up and down, okay? But your equity,
and
stable.
And really she couldn't afford to have another payment. So when you do a home equity line of credit, or you do a home equity loan, she couldn't afford another payment. I mean, she came to me for a solution to a problem, and this is just one way for her to now have a little extra income and rest easy to be able to take care of her grandchildren.
You're like a magic,
I felt like I had a magic wand. I'm not going to lie. But actually that's how I initially started getting into looking more into reverse mortgages now, more than ever.
They're becoming more popular. They really,
and
really are.
They're
Public's done a good job.
One thing to know is they are federally insured. HUD backs them.
Yes.
So, you're going to go by those guidelines, and it's actually much more. It's not the wild, wild west out there. It's a secure loan. It fits guidelines. So, you have to fit guidelines, but it's just a different product, and it's a way for her to be able to now raise these children, feel comfortable, have a little extra money for their sports and the things that were really important.
Sure.
Got to be 62 years old.
62.
You do not have a payment on the house until you exit the home.
Correct.
You must keep maintenance on the home.
Correct.
You are still responsible for taxes and insurance.
Correct.
Okay? You got to pay your taxes and insurance regardless if you have a mortgage or not.
Correct.
Okay?
Yes.
And then is there anything else on?
Well, it's going to be based on
your loan to value is based on your state.
Yeah, and there's different criteria for along with age,
whatever your profile looks like.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the main things is there's an option for you that you could get money out of your home with no payment until you exit the home.
Correct.
And then when you exit the home, then just reach out to a lender again and say, hey, what are my options now that I have this house and my reverse mortgage on it? I owe $189,000. we're like, okay, well, what are the comps? What is it worth?
Right.
Do we want to do a renovation loan, or we want to just outright sell it or buy it or whatever?
Right. And you have to have enough. If you have less than 50% equity in your home, it's really just not doable. You're going to need at least 50% of
And there is a whole lot of false and negative information
That's
floating
out
around
there.
out there about reverse mortgages and what they really mean, what it can really do for you, and all that kind of stuff. I guarantee you, because I've heard them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
anything that you don't know.
I just went
everything
through all this with my dad.
Can be
When my mom passed away, and reverse mortgages, one of the things he looked at. So.
And the cons may outweigh.
We were told a bunch of stuff that is nothing
compared to what you just heard.
compared to what I just heard.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's why it's we will look out for you, but we will also give you all of the information.
Yes.
Because as much as we will get to know you once we meet you, we will not know the whole previous lifestyle that you've had and like your we won't know that. So we're going to give you all of the information. So if the cons outweigh the pros, it's not good for you. If the pros outweigh the cons, give it a shot.
Yeah.
So listen, I want all of you to contact Lisa the way Benny does, okay?
He likes her better than he does any of the rest of us.
God, yeah.
Effectively.
I'm
You
in.
are of high value.
Oh yeah. You're Benny approved.
Then he's like, hey,
You're a humpable property over here.
you know what? I needed to hear that. It's been a long time.
Less wine than you.
No, you did not. You just.
Listen, this is a prop. She's using her wine as a prop. I'm actually using wine to nourish my body at this moment.
Nourish.
Well, it is like only 11. I feel like
I literally only drink when I'm doing this thing because I've been good.
I know you have
I've
been
been really good.
You have
and
been,
Lisa's
like-
being extra good because she's trying to be extra good.
trying to
So.
lose a few extra. Well, apparently I'm humpable even at my weight
You
that I'm
know?
at, even at my fluffiness.
She's completely sober.
Apparently, Benny likes a little bit of extra.
You know he does. It's a little meat on the bone.
Well, he was humping me early.
I'm telling you what.
He must like a lot extra.
Is that what you think I'm saying?
Yes! the moment I come over and Benny no longer humps my leg, I will know I have reached my goal weight.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. He's
You've
humping
gotten out of
anybody that
bench
smells good or. So, anyway, well,
Benny.
thank you all for joining us. This was fun. This was really fun. Thank you for watching. I appreciate Lisa coming by.
Thank you for subscribing.
Obviously, my
Subscribe!
co-host,
Hit
John
that
Tejas.
subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button.
Did you guys have fun today? I hope you had fun today.
I had
Thank
fun.
you for listening. We talked about reverse mortgage. We talked about old school lending. We talked about how we met and how we're friends.
Humping.
Even if we're a lender, we're still friends.
Yeah.
About humping.
And we talked about
We talked about
Humping.
dogs humping. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So hopefully you had a good time. Thank you for coming. Goodbye.
Bye, y'all.
Both cameras.
we're gonna end it.